right to the Psalms and got inspiration. And then I moved on. I went to Isaiah and Jeremiah. Then I went to the Gospels, Paul, of course. And it just gave me strength and drew me closer to God. I'm not running for anything, so I'm not giving any BS to your listeners. It was just real. Yes, and I think a greater appreciation for the things that really matter most in life, like the people in your life that you love, and the appreciation for the simple things that maybe you were, a little bit less aware of because you were so busy in the race of life. Well, I noticed this whole new thing called wokeness and cancel culture, which I wasn't aware of before I left. I noticed the intolerance of the far left of the Democrat Party. And then, I came home to a, working class neighborhood in Chicago. I mean, we lived in a nice little neighborhood, but where the local Democrat Party began to turn socialist. And this guy got released by Obama a few days before. And I'm thinking, ooh, that's a good sign for me, right? Yeah. And then a guy got 35 years in prison for treason against the United States. His name was Bradley Manning. He went into prison as Bradley Manning. Came out of prison, Chelsea Manning, through the largesse of the taxpayers. Obama cut her loose after 6 years or 7 years. I'm thinking, I'm easy compared to these two. But here's where God comes in, and this whole miracle of how I eventually got home, and that Donald Trump would be the instrument. See, this is part of what I read about in my book. I got to know him a little bit on Celebrity Apprentice, a show I never watched. But after they took everything away from me and I had no income and I was an honest governor, didn't get rich in the business. Anyway, but Trump's show came calling because he saw me on television fighting back. And so I did Celebrity Apprentice. This is October 2009 that we tape it. It airs in like March 2010. My first trial is June 2010. And he was so good to me. He was so sympathetic. He was so kind. People don't realize on a personal level, Trump's a kind-hearted person, very different from most politicians, and the direct opposite of a cold, selfish, completely practical Obama.
When you see Kamala Harris on the road campaigning with Dick Cheney's repulsive daughter, what do you think?
That ain't my Democratic Party. Right?
Dick Cheney is now a Democrat? I mean, it's incredible.
It is sickening. That's another sickening thing. First come here, right? Don't break into our country. And the Democrats have opened the doors. And Kamala Harris, all by design. But when I think about how the parties have changed, those corporate country club, warmongering, Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, Mitt Romney Republicans, I have a lot more in common with the left-wing Kamala Harris wing of the Democrat Party than traditional working-class Daley-type Democrats, John F. Kennedy Democrats, Robert Kennedy Democrats have with them, and they're not part of this new coalition Trump's building in this new Republican Party, and it's very exciting. I see all these history books that you have here, and my reading of history, and I had 8 years to read a lot of it, right, is we're going through a historic political realignment.
Yes,
these parties are very different. And this new Republican Party is the party of the little guy. Truly believe that. My voters. I saw that at Madison Square Garden. Those were my voters that I saw there. They look just like my voters. Good people, working people, honest people, not the elites.